In this tutorial, I'll teach you step by step how to draw a face, male and female, so that you can follow along and never again draw faces that look like this. What's up guys, Lucas here. I'm an artist and teacher working for the video game industry, and I'm here to help you become the artist that you want to become. If you're starting out, believe me, I get you. Years back I was in your position, not knowing where to start or how to improve. This is why I made this channel. So if that's something that clicks with you, punch that subscribe button. And now to the video. Okay guys, so I want you to grab a pencil, paper, your iPad, Windows, whatever you have. We're going to make this super simple by dividing it into 3 stages. Stage 1 is going to be the proportions of the face, stage 2 is going to be the structure, and stage 3 is where the fun is. We're going to put features on top of that face that we just constructed. We are going to start with the circle for the skull and a cross in between each of its halves. The vertical one is going to divide the face in the middle, and the horizontal one is going to be at the height of the brows. To know where should we end the chin, we just have to put one of the halves of the circle below itself. Now that we have that, the bottom line is going to represent the chin, and we just have to connect the chin with the sides of the face. Because we're doing the male first, we're going to make it a little more square. For the male, we're going to make the neck almost the width of the face. So now we have 3 of the landmarks of the face. We know that the chin, of course, is the bottom. The horizontal one that we made before is going to be the brow, and the bottom of the circle is going to be the nose. Now, if we find the halfway point in between the nose and the brow, we're going to find the cheekbones. And in between the cheekbones and the brow, we can find the height of the eyes. Below the nose, we're going to do the same thing, but in thirds. First third is going to be the mouth, and second third is going to be this line that I don't know how to call, the little hole that we have in between the chin and the mouth. Okay, so that's stage number 1, that's the proportions of the face. We're ready to go to stage number 2, that's going to be the structure. And we are going to start with this little shape, trapezius shape that we have in between the eyebrows that we call the keystone. That's going to extend in between the eyebrows and to the upper part of the nose. From there, we're going to make a curve that is going to go from the brow downwards until it touches the cheekbone, and then inwards and to the base of the nose again. From that shape, we're going to go down to the nose to make the shape for the base. It's going to be a shape very similar to the one that we made for the keystone, a trapezius, just that this time is going to be inverted. And we connect the points from the base of the nose to the ones on the keystone and the eye sockets. Now on the mouth, there's not much to do. We're just going to make an arc that connects both sides of the mouth from the upper lip, and also an arc for the lower lip. Now these lines are very important. They're going to extend from the cheekbones all the way down to the chin, and they're going to differentiate the frontal and lateral planes of the face. Almost forgot about the ears. Those are very simple, they're going to be the same height as the nose. For the globes of the eyes, remember that you have to put one eye in between each other to know that you have your proportions right. And the structure is done. Super easy, right? Now we go to the third stage, is my favorite, because we're going to start putting those features inside. And just because they look very empty right now, we're going to start with the ears. Now I have a little shortcut that I do when I'm doing the ears, and I'm sure that every artist has his or her own shortcut. When I do ears, I try to start from the upper part, go downwards until I reach this little triangle, then I do the triangle and come right in to make this little shape that overlaps from the back part of the ear. Okay, let's jump to the eyes. We are going to use the globe that we made before as a guide for the width of the eyes. Remember that third eye in the center, the distance in between each other? We have to take that into consideration. And whatever you do, When you construct the eyes, please don't make that typical symbol that everyone learns as a kid, that symmetrical shape, kind of like an Egyptian eye with the eyelashes all over the place. Please don't do that. What I recommend you to do is an asymmetrical shape of the eye that is going to be higher in the inside and lower in the outside. So that one, it's good. Okay, let's make some eyebrows. Because I'm doing a male, I'm going to do them a little thicker. Remember that the iris should touch the upper lid and also the lower lid. Remember that we are still making kinda the sketch, so all the lines have to be softer so that we can then go on top of them with darker lines for the finals. Okay, for the nose, we're going to use the base that we already constructed to build it. It's going to be super simple. The nostrils go in the base, the little trapezius shape that we made before, and the wings of the nose go on the sides. Again, because we're drawing a male, I'm not gonna worry too much about the thickness of the nose. But with the female, we should take some care about it. The mouth, we're going to maintain almost the same shape as we did before, just with a little triangle cut on the upper part, and we slide down the little holes of the mouth. Those you can do a little darker because generally they are in shadow. And I'm going to make the lower lip squarish just because it gives him a little more masculine look. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where the sketch is right now, so I'm starting to darken all the lines. For the hairline, just follow the line from the ears above, surround the eyebrow, and then make a squarish shape on top of the forehead. For the hairstyle, the only thing that you have to take care of is not making individual hairs. Stage 3 done! If you came all the way until here, then your drawing should be pretty final. You can leave it like that if you want. I'm gonna shade it, but your drawing should be pretty good by now. For the shading, I'm starting with some local values, so darkening the hair and the eyebrows because I want him to have darker hair, and also making some essential shadows. There are some easy ways that you can cheat to make a face look 3D. Darkening below the nose, below the lower lip, and also the upper lip. Also remember to darken those side planes that we constructed with the line from the cheekbones to the chin. Sides of the nose don't receive as much light, and also of course below the neck, where if the light comes from above, it's going to project a shadow on top of the neck. Okay, so from here now is just going to be adding more shadows and darkening some of the spots where the occlusion occurs. So I'm gonna leave you guys to watch the rest, and I'm gonna come back when we start with the female. So see you in a second. And I am back. The male is done. We're going to start with the female, and this is going to be much simpler than the male because you already know all the instructions. And with the female, just some little differences we're going to find. The same proportions, so the circle first, then the cross on top of the circle to find the chin, to find the brow. Remember that the neck on the female is going to be a little thinner, and we're going to make the same division. So on top of the nose, halfway point and halfway point to find the cheekbones and the eyes, and from the nose downwards we're going to find the mouth and the whole of the chin. Globes for the eyes. Some little difference that we're making here are making her eyes her lips fuller, her nose a little smaller. On this point I'm very satisfied with the sketch, so I'm starting to put some darker lines, even though I know that I'm going to shadow it. But as you can see, the drawing can look very final without the shading if you reach this point. Now we're going to start with the shading. In her case, I'm darkening her lips and also her hair and her eyebrows. One of the key differences that I'm doing on her shading is using an airbrush instead of a hard brush, because I want the airbrush itself to help me differentiate those planes of her face on a very soft manner instead of the male that is going to be like hard for each of the planes. And putting some specular glows on her eyes to make her come alive. Also some specular on her lips, lower lips especially. And if you're doing this on traditional media, then I'm sorry, you just have to make it more carefully, because in digital, one of the best advantages that we have is using the liquify tool. So I'm taking advantage of it to make her proportions a little softer. I'm softening her jaw to make her look more feminine, and also lowering the eyebrows with the eyes to make the distance from the brows to the nose shorter. It's impressive how just simple strokes can make a very big difference on the appearance of the character. That's for you to realize that whatever you do to these proportions, you can have a complete different person. And that's part of the fun of it. Okay, so as with the male, from here on is just going to be tweaking here and there, things that I didn't like. So I'm gonna leave you to watch the rest of the process. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Check out the description down below where you have a PDF with the whole process so that you can follow along at your own pace. Also subscribe if you haven't already, because next week I will teach you how to shade your drawings so that you can step up your art to the next level. See you in the next video.